So the question of the day is, will these Edelbrock Performer RPM cylinder heads fit on a 318? Stay tuned, it's going to get good. So I'm out here working on Project Mission Impossible, doing some pre-fitment things before the engine block actually goes to the machine shop, waiting on main studs to get here and connecting rods, and this thing will be ready to rock and roll. So the question is, on the internet, when you look up small block Mopars and 318s running with a 202 valve, can it be done? That's the question we're going to aim to answer in this video. So the 318 is overlooked and underappreciated, with except of channels such as Tim of 318 Will Run. He knows the value of a 318 and he knows they will run and make power. There's been outliers of people who's made tremendous power with a 318, but they're far and few between. But the 340 and the 360 get all of the credit when it comes to performance, and the 318 gets shunned. The 318 is just mundane taxi cab engine, and we're going to aim to fix that with this Project Mission Impossible. I've got to give a huge shout out and thanks to the Edelbrock group for coming on board with this project. This is the engine that's going to be raffled off once we're finished doing the testing for St. Jude's Children's Hospital. Very important part of the puzzle here. So basically, this engine is going to be running two configurations, pretty much with the stock parts, like the original intent somewhat. I've tweaked it because I'm building it. And then while it's sitting on the engine dyno, we're going to unbolt parts and go through different configurations, do some really cool dyno testing, and swing for the fences in the final version. So here's the thing. I'm a Mopar guy at heart. And when you sit there and you badmouth the 318, I just don't get it. I mean, it makes no sense to me. But what I have found, it suffers from two things, okay? The 318 has the smallest bore of the family with a 3.91 inch bore. That's problem number one. And then problem number two is getting some compression in these engines. You had large open chambers from the factory combined with pistons that were down in the hole nearly 50, 60 thousandths of an inch, which spells no performance. Yeah, we aim to fix all of that. So here's the cylinder head in question that we're going to be running on Project Mission Impossible. I have some experience with these heads going back nearly 25 years when they first came out. Built an engine for my buddy John Morris, a 340 that was actually my old 340. It was in my Duster. And we put a set of these heads on them when they first come out. So, yeah, I've got some experience. Take a listen to the clip here of the Scamp because it's still running and driving today. So fitting on the engine block is one thing. Delivering max power is something else. The bore shrouding that we're going to encounter with this, I'm sure is going to be pretty serious, but nothing that can't be fixed. So they say a picture is worth 1,000 words. Well, how much is a video worth? Let's put this cylinder head on the block and see what we actually have. When you're building something, wanting to make power, it's better to visualize them. What I'm going to do, run this one head bolt in here, tighten it up so that we can flip it up and look at the chamber from the bottom side of the block. So you're seeing this in the same time frame that I'm seeing it. So here's the intake valve. It goes down, but how bad is it shrouded? This proof is in the pudding. All right, let's open that valve. You can see just how shrouded it is. If I had to guess, I'm going to guess that there's about 120 thousandths there. Let's see how close I am. So I've got my feeler gauges out, got my mics out. Let's see what we come up with here. It's going to be almost impossible to get an exact measurement, but, well, that goes. That's tight. Let's see here. Don't know if you can see it, but roughly 110 thousandths. So looking at this picture here, you can see that on the exhaust side, that the chamber is almost even with the cylinder bore, which, that's good. Over here, I don't know if you can see it in the video, but it appears that the chamber is overhanging the top of the bore. This block is a standard bore, believe it or not, 318 from 1967. This block came from just Mopar Joe, and Shane Polito did the oil modifications. I'll put a link to the video up in the corner so that you can see just what all he did for this thing, because we're going to be going solid flat tapping. Well, there you have it. The cylinder head will work on a 318. Like I said, this is a standard bore block, and for this engine build, I'm going to go straight to 60 thousandths. I initially had the idea that I was going to take it out to a 4-inch bore, but decided against it. Now, Shane sonic tested this block, and it is super thick, but I'm wanting to create a reliable engine for whoever's going to get this thing with the rifle. I don't want something that's going to have thin cylinder walls, could possibly overheat. None of that mess. Nah, not here. So what we're going to do to get maximum flow from these cylinder heads is we're going to de-shroud the valve with the bore. Now, this is not a new technique. Going way back, Mopar did it with the max wedge engines, insert picture. Chevrolet's done it. I don't know if Ford did it with the Cleveland, but either way, let's take a look at what we're going to do here. So you know this engine is going to 60 over, right? Which that's going to help the situation, because that's going to enlarge the bore by 60 thousandths. But crevice volume is also the enemy here, because remember what I said about the 318 and compression. So looking through Cometic's catalog, I see that they offer a 4030 bore gasket for the small block Mopar. Now, your standard Felpros and all of that will be much bigger bore. You can see where the fire ring was actually right here with the factory style gaskets. This volume right here, that's called crevice volume. That is space between the cylinder head and the deck and the gaskets out here, which that's bad. That's how we try to get the compression up as much as we can by eliminating this crevice volume. So what we're going to do is right through this area right here, we're going to notch the very top of the bore out to where the fire ring is of the Cometic gasket. That has its disadvantages also by doing that. By grinding away, you got to be careful about how much metal you remove, because we do not want to expose the top ring land enough to put a bunch of heat into it. So it's a trade-off, compression versus airflow. What is the next game plan for the cylinder heads? Well, in fact, I'm going to take them over to DV's and do some flow testing with them. Edelbrock claims that they flow around 250-ish CFM, and that sounds about right if my memory serves me correct, but I'm not sure what bore they flow tested them on. Is it a 4030? Is it a 4-inch bore? I'm planning on probably putting them on a 4-inch bore, and then I'm going to do something really cool, is reduce the size of the bore fixture down to the 3.91 to see how much it hurts flow by doing that. I think that would be an interesting test to put on YouTube. But let's talk about compression now, because that's pretty important with this build. This is the piston that we're going to be running in the 318. It's an Icon 2618 forging. Huge shout out to Icon for donating these pistons for the Mission Impossible project. Flat top design has a 4.7 cc reliefs here, and they also offer a dome piston. Now this is part number IC 844. You can see it says 60 thousandths right there. The dome piston gives you a 5cc dome, which is tremendous. I kind of wish we would have got those, but this will make us fall somewhere in the neighborhood of around 10.8 to 10.95, somewhere in that range when I'm all said and done. Now, even with this piston with a 1.81 inch compression height, doing the math puts the piston approximately 20 thousandths in the hole, which means the block is going to have to be decked regardless. So I've had to do some soul searching about the Charlie Savidio heads. These things are awesome. He did a full video series on these heads. They're 675 castings. Let's take a look at them. As you can see, the port work is impeccable. We're going to run it with stock valves, okay? Now you can see that he's put a burr finish on this. He's done a lot of grinding on these valves, and that's really cool. But, and you see the exhaust valve, but this thing is going to require some guides. That is not good, which means the valve job will have to be touched up on the exhaust. And then what we're going to do here, now you see that this is an open chamber. The open chamber here at best would probably give me 9.5 to 1, maybe 9.7 if I'm lucky. I haven't done any CCing yet, but that is my guess. Check this out. When Charlie came up to visit David and myself last year, we actually cut this cylinder head apart to see how thick the decks were, so we knew how much that we could remove from this and still be kind of safe. Well, we pretty much shaved the entire open chamber part out, and that's how much deck's left. Pretty impressive if you ask me, of a stock casting. Which, doing this mod's going to create problems of its own. Intake fitment. Valve geometry is not going to be a problem because the geometry is set by the height of the rocker stand here. So that's not affected. What is affected? Push rod length and getting the intake to fit. Now going back to these valves here, it's got multi-groove keepers, and I'm not a fan of turning that stuff really high RPMs. I think that's a recipe for disaster. So in working up a plan, got comp springs here, just regular single with dampener. It's going to give us probably around 340 open, which would be plenty for this thing to go 6,000, 6,500. I do not want to turn this thing past 7,000 with those valves in it. That's just me. But you can see that we've got retainers here, 10-degree retainers, locks, valve seals. Really nice setup from Comp Cams on this. Get these things dressed out. Now, these things flowed around 235 CFM, if I'm not mistaken, which is really impressive. You probably will never find another set of 318 heads that would flow like this. I mean, I'm sure there's super stock heads out there that would do that, but yeah, that's what we're doing. People on the internet tend to say that these cylinder heads are too big, that too much port volume. It's got the 340, 360 ports. Well, here's the deal. These things are about 170cc intake runner. And that is, in my opinion, for that engine is going to be about perfect. In fact, I want to see it go probably about 180cc or 185, somewhere in that range. Because if you think about this engine in terms of like small block Ford and small block Chevrolets, it's not uncommon to build a 331 and put 185cc cylinder heads on it and be right on the money. So I know that this recipe will work with the Mopar. Regardless of what you read, this cylinder head is not too big for a 318. Initially, I had wanted to run ductile iron 273 rockers on both the 318 and the Edelbrock heads. Decided against that. The style of adjuster with the 270, it requires a socket style push rod where these nice comp units here utilize a ball end like a traditional push rod. So that's really cool. These rockers are top notch, and I know that they're going to deliver the goods well past 7,000 RPMs, and that's where we're planning on taking this engine in stage 2. The camshaft that's going in stage 1, okay? This is what I decided on. This is actually like the smallest one in Comp's catalog, I believe. Solid for a Mopar. 224 at 50, 468 lift on a 110 lobe separation. I'm sure you're going to start hating me now, but that's where we're going with this. Because I would consider that to be like an RV type cam. It may have a little bit of idle to it, but it's nothing extravagant. The 318, it's going to look completely stock on the outside. You know, the bottom end of this is going to be practically bulletproof. It's going to be studded, forged pistons, H-beam rods. So whoever the end user of this engine is can have something that's safe, reliable, use it and abuse it and not have to worry. And that's what I want, because it's going to have my name on it. But the plan for picking the camshaft for the Edelbrock heads, once I have the flow numbers and have that data, I'm going to get up with the guys at Edelbrock or Comp Cams and have something special ground for this that's going to fit the needs of this engine. Because I really want to turn it 7,500 RPMs. It would be even cool to turn it 8. I'm just saying. It would just sound perfect on the dyno. Everything inside an engine has to work together to make the most power. Yes, you could put those cylinder heads on a 318 and make killer power. Until next time, this is Andy from Unity Motorsports Garage. We will catch you later.